Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So this is very, very interesting. I wanted to talk about this in this video. This is from Mike Siever, T-Mobile. Our churn is lower where Verizon has fiber. So he can't make that same argument with AT&T because AT&T has the lowest churn by far. So it's only working against one of their benchmark competitors, which is Verizon. And that's before Verizon really scales their fiber footprint with the Frontier deal. Once they have additional scale and Verizon is able to bundle in more of those customers with home broadband and wireless, their churn is going to lower too. So that's a very, I think he's just saying, Mike Sievert is just saying that in response to, in fiber areas where the competitors, quote unquote, are investing heavier, he's saying that T-Mobile does well in those markets on wireless too. Right, but he still can't say that against AT&T because it simply doesn't work against AT&T. AT&T's convergence strategy is still very early. It hasn't matured and it's working. That's why I'm still confused as to why T-Mobile and Verizon speak on the convergence part differently. I think AT&T is on to something big here with the convergence piece on the business. Right now, you can say it's in its infancy stage, and they're at a 40%. That's 4 out of 10. If they get that to 50, 60 on average, that's going to be a gold mine for AT&T. That's pretty much telling us whatever part of the United States they touch with fiber, be expecting immediate impact on wireless share. They're going to take your customers in those markets. That's what they're saying. That's what they're telling you. If they can grow a fiber footprint by 10 customers in any given neighborhood in that area, if they can get that to 50, 60, maybe 70% convergence, that means out of the 10, 7 customers will join AT&T Wireless. That is a number that you have to like. You have to like those odds. If that's going to be, if Verizon and T-Mobile continue to speak on convergence the way that they are, and I'm AT&T, I'm going to take that all day long. I will take the 40% right now. I will take it. I will get to 50 and 60%. In some markets, it's even higher. 40% is the average. In some markets, they're already at 50, 60, 70% convergence. So if I'm T-Mobile, I'm looking at this very carefully. Same with Verizon. I have to look at this very carefully because the convergence, it works. The stats are there. The numbers are there. AT&T is not just making that up. The numbers are there. So T-Mobile, primarily a mobile network operator today, has been leaning into fiber and fixed wireless, but the company's CEO warned that convergence wireless wireline services aren't necessarily that important. I disagree. And the reason I am able to disagree is because I can look at the AT&T numbers. Not one other carrier today is at the scale with fiber that AT&T is. So they might not be able to produce the same numbers, so they have to speak on it differently. Once Verizon closes that Frontier deal and they can get to 35, 40 million homes passed, then they're going to talk about that differently. Once T-Mobile gains more scale on fiber, right, 12, 15 million homes passed, they're going to grow FWA a little more over the next few years. They will speak on it differently. But today, they don't have any numbers to support it. They just don't. That's why T-Mobile speaks defensively about convergence and says, hey, we perform very well and have great churn even in Verizon fiber territory. You didn't hear him mention AT&T because he knows AT&T's churn rates are better. And AT&T knows that too. Wherever they have converged offerings, where they can get the customer bundled on fiber and wireless and maybe a tablet or a smartwatch, that customer churns less. And if AT&T can right off the jump get them into fiber and wireless, that is a churn profile they're going to like every time. That's why I don't understand this commentary very much. I know there's always a business reason as to why, the talk is the talk, but this is, in my opinion, going in the complete wrong direction here. So Mike Sievert says some of our competitors talk about things like we're investing in fiber because we have more share and more success where we have fiber, which is AT&T, and it's entirely true. T-Mobile CEO on Monday at the UBS conference said, and then we went and looked at that and said, well, that's interesting. Where our two principal competitors, AT&T and Verizon, have fiber, T-Mobile has more success where they have fiber. Maybe on the wireless side, they still have more success. But if you look at the churn, the numbers are black and white. AT&T has the lowest churn in the industry by a lot. It's not just by 2 or 3 points. It's a lot. So they're going to have to, in the future, they're going to have to answer to this. They're going to have to answer to this very clearly, especially as AT&T further penetrates scale on fiber. And as that convergence goes higher, it's going to be tough. It's going to get to a point where you can look at a neighborhood and say, okay, all of these homes have AT&T fiber. They're going to gain a ton of wireless customers. And so what? So be it. They have to offer a 20% discount. So what? Give it to them, get the customer into your ecosystem, and then you upsell them. You get them the smartwatch, the tablet, whatever else, right? You can work with that customer once you actually have them integrated into your billing system. So that's why I think the convergence is going to play a big role for AT&T, and I think others will follow, including T-Mobile at some point. So just wanted to share this with you guys. Again, T-Mobile's still doing well. They're still performing great on the wireless side. They really don't have a substantial fiber footprint today. That's a very small. That's a long grind that they're going to have to embrace with Metronet and Lumos. But FWA, they can see FWA is helping them lower churn too. They recently, John Fryer said this as well. Accounts that have multiple lines, including FWA, they churn less. It's just they see it in the numbers too. So I don't know why they still speak on it in that way. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.